Africa TV Freak Up Studio live. LG Ultra Gear and Hot 6 2021 GSL Season 1.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to day 2 here of the GSL in the round of 8. We had a fantastic day 1, and I actually think today is going to be even better.
I know that today will be better. And day 1 was very interesting. It was very different, very cheesy, very aggressive.
Yeah.
And it was entertaining, there's no doubt.
Very different games, each one of them.
Yeah, it's like...
And not the games where you teach somebody StarCraft with,
no.
so to speak.
Yeah. So, like...
The games are almost each one of them like a parable.
Because when you say it was like a really great day 1, I'm like, yes, but let's define great.
Okay.
It was highly entertaining. It was crazy and exciting. Was it the highest quality of StarCraft? That could be debated.
Lessons could be learned for
yes.
sure. You can see definitely the range of different ways to play the game for sure.
Indeed.
But not a lot of textbook games, definitely.
No,
so,
it was Cheese City.
It was Cheese Nation.
Cheese Nation.
It was Cheese Continent.
Cheese World.
Cheese World. Dream versus Rogue is what awaits us in the round of 4. But today it's going to be Hurricane versus Maru, and Innovation versus Trap. So 2 high-quality best-of-5 PVTs for us.
Yeah, this is... These are a couple very interesting matches. I think that the one that people mostly are going to be excited for is going to be Innovation Trap. But, I mean, Hurricane Maru, I think, will be kind of cool because Maru is kind of the ultimate Terran, right? And Hurricane, I don't, can he do it? Could he beat Maru?
I don't think so. We'll see. Quick interview first, and I'll talk about
Ahead
that.
of our first round of 8 match, we have a fantastic TVP waiting for us. And these 2 players are absolutely strong. And Hurricane has made it to his first quarterfinals too. Hello. Hello.
네, 먼저 남기웅 선수입니다.
Hurricane, you first.
2019년 시즌 2 이후 약 2년 만에
After 2019 season 2, you have made it here on the GSL stage after 2 years.
컨디션 어떠신가요?
So how are you feeling today, Hurricane?
일단 잠도 잘 안 오고
Well, you know, I couldn't sleep,
좋지는 않은데 그래도
and my condition's not all that good.
되고 해서 잘할 수 있지 않을까 생각합니다.
But you know, I'll try to play
오늘
well
경기
today.
긴장 때문에 혹시 잠 못 자셨어요?
So were you nervous
그건
before the match?
잘 모르겠어요. 그냥
I'm
잠이
not
안
so
오더라고요.
sure. I just couldn't sleep
남기웅
yesterday.
선수가 각성할 땐 전성기 때 닙도 잡고 세랄도 잡고
And Hurricane,
작년엔 GSL
in your prime,
갔었잖아요.
you beat Cyril,
오늘 상대
and you beat all the strong players.
어떠신가요?
So what do you think about Maru today?
제가 생각하기에 테란 중에 거의 제일 잘한다고.
Well, I think Maru
생각하고
is the best Terran
또
right now,
엄청 잘한다고 생각해서
and his TVP
많이
is awesome as well.
걱정하고 있습니다.
So I'm really worried.
말씀에서 걱정이 조금 느껴집니다. 자, 이번에는 조성주
Alright,
선수
Maru.
만나볼게요. GSL에서 가장 많이 8강에 오른
You have
선수이기도
made it to
합니다.
the round of 8 the
무려
most
15번째
in GSL. You have made it to the round of 8
조성주 선수는
15
어떤 마음으로
times.
오셨나요?
So
준비하면서
how did you prepare?
이제 좀 어려워가지고.
Well, my preparation has been difficult, so I came here with an easy mind.
상대가 각성하면 S급 선수도 잡는 그런 저력이 있는 선수인데
I mean, Hurricane
걱정이
has
좀
the potential
없으셨나요?
to be really strong players, Maru. So what do you think about that?
토스가 그럴 수밖에 없어요.
Well, I mean, he's a Protoss. What else can you say?
그것은 종빨이었다.
So you're saying Protoss is the
아니지만
absolute strong race?
토스가 그런 것 같아요.
I mean, yes, Protoss is OP.
그게 아닌가요?
그냥 많다고 했어요.
Yeah, Protoss is OP,
알겠습니다.
apparently.
자, 그러면 연습은 어떻게 하셨을까요? 프로토스전 자신
see our
So
Toast's
how did your
face
practice
right
go,
now.
Maru?
하셨을까요?
Your TVP practice?
일단 제 주변에 토스
Well, first of all, I have a lot of Protoss friends,
부탁을 해서
so I asked them for scrims, and my scrim went
그분이
fine.
10년 동안 GSL 공식전에서 단 한 번도 만나지
And
않았다는
you have
사실이 참
never met
재밌기도 합니다.
Hurricane in the
남기웅
official
선수는
match
좀
before,
그런 면에서
Maru.
좀 설레기도 할까요?
So Hurricane, are you kind of excited about this?
설렌다기보다
Excitement, maybe not. Excitement.
걱정이 돼요.
I'm just worried. Absolutely worried.
이렇게 처음 만난 김에 어떤 경기로
So Maru,
또
this is the
어떤
first
모습
time you encounter
보여주실지
Hurricane in the
기대가
official
되는데요.
match, so we are really
경기 시작하기
excited
전에
about this
한
match as
말씀
well.
또 먼저 해주실까요?
So before you go, anything you want to say?
GSL 공식 선상에서는 처음인데.
Well, that is right. We
제가
have never met in
이기고
GSL.
가겠습니다.
I'm just gonna beat him.
이기고 가겠다 하셨는데요.
Well, Hurricane, how are you gonna answer that?
공지에 몰린 쥐처럼
Well, I'm
최선을
cornered,
다해보겠습니다.
but I'm gonna try my best to you.
최선을 다하겠다. 마지막
Alright,
한
Hurricane.
말씀까지 들어봤습니다. 2019년 4강에 오르며 돌풍의 핵으로 떠올랐던 남기웅
So
선수와
Hurricane has made it
GSL에서
to the round of
가장
4 in
많은 4강에
2019.
올라갔던
He was
노성주
taking
선수의
GSL by the storm
8강
back then.
4인차 대결
And Maru is the
시작하겠습니다.
ever fearsome player. Who will win today?
Dude, Hurricane is wearing that GSL jacket so hard. I'm surprised he doesn't have a GSL space helmet on with it. Jeez, zipped up all the way, man. He's got his GSL middies on. He's got his GSL galoshes. Oh, God.
So coming into this, I think Maru is the clear favorite, despite him being concerned about Hurricane as a Protoss player.
Yeah. His interviews, by the way, always stellar.
Always the best. I enjoy watching the games, but really I come here for the interviews with Maru.
Yeah.
If anything.
Seasons where he doesn't make it to the interview stage, I just don't even want to be here.
Yeah, those are the GSLs I don't rewatch, are the ones where there's no Maru interviews. So, I mean, let's see what Hurricane can do. Maru, extremely consistent here, especially in Legacy of the Void. Again, I've said it many times, but it always rings true. Bigger, better, faster, stronger in every sense, and tends to just outpace his opponents.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's just better than them in every way. Like
Yeah.
micro, macro, multitasking, strategy. Just he's just monstrous.
And so, Hurricane, going into this, I mean, it would be insane if he actually managed to win and come out on top. I just don't know if it's going to happen. A best of 5 especially. It's hard to really pull a fast one on your opponent. You have enough time to show enough different openers and get enough of an idea, basically investigate your opponent's play style in the first game or two. But, that being said, Hurricane has had plenty of time to prepare. I do feel that Hurricane is continuing to improve and bring out a better iteration of himself in every day of GSL that we cast of him. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, he definitely has been getting better over time, and we're seeing better results, that's always really nice and really promising. You can see Maru so far hasn't had too hard of a run, dropping a couple maps, but just coming straight here as you would expect. And yeah, I mean, definitely one of the favorites overall of the tournament right now.
Yeah, there's a very realistic possibility that this is a Maru Rogue final.
Yeah, very realistic.
Which is something to look forward to for sure.
Yeah. Well, honestly, you look at who's left, it's like, I think everyone's going to write off Dream, so it should be Rogue versus, like, one of these 4 today,
yeah,
right? And those are exciting.
Very often in a Final Four, we do have one player that is a bit weaker.
Yeah.
Obviously strong enough to be a top 4 player, but usually it's 3 others or 2 others that are really the people you got your eyes on. We're going to load this up for Map 1. This is Hurricane versus Maru, a fight for the 3rd remaining spot in the round of 4 in the GSL Code S.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes. They're living a life like
Hurricane.
I do want to give a shout out to the players for vetoing Blackburn and Nautilus and then putting 2000 Atmospheres as the last map just to make sure that this is as vanilla as possible.
Yes.
Team NV, Maru.
Don't want to have anything too interesting. You don't want anything outshining the Maru interview here.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right.
We got to just... The only way we could do more is... Let's just bring back Death Aura for this match and just play it 5 times in a row, you know?
That's all I really want. So immediately we have the probe scouting out any close proxy locations. It's going to be a pretty ordinary opener for starts here for Maru. No proxies, nothing like that. We do know Maru is more than capable of proxying. There were entire seasons that he proxied more than he actually made buildings inside of his main. But he seems to have dialed that back a little bit now.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I think is a sign of a good player, is that the range of different styles is varying to the point where it's very difficult to ever have a proper read.
He had 3 seasons where he won GSL in a row that were very proxy heavy. And then the 4th season that he won in a row was all long macro games. It was actually very fascinating the way that changed over time. But yeah, he's the best late game Terran player, I think, really. It's like him and TY. And and TY is like basically my favorite player. Like, I love the way that he plays, but in a lot of ways I feel like Maru outpaces him. He's like better at expanding through the late game, I think.
Yeah, I think especially in the late game,
there's this,
it's worth highlighting.
Yeah.
He does seem to just like seize up more of the map more quickly.
Yeah, he's disgustingly competent at late game Terran.
It's just like he's so fast. By the way, the Reaper does get inside the bunker along with the SCV, and this is a great way to
look at the shields, Tasteless.
Slow down.
Like when it shoots and the shields like pop up, it reminds me of the beginning of Independence Day where people are shooting their guns at the mothership.
The spaceships, yeah. Learning that in fact their weapons are completely useless against the aliens.
Which is basically the Reaper in the bunker here. It's like, hey, like, I mean, maybe we'll stop him from making some probes, so that's kind of nice.
So, I mean, the real idea behind this strategy is to make it so that probes can't mine. And, of course, you can't have an oversaturated, or I guess, let me rephrase that. You can have oversaturation at, your minerals when you're mining. So, in other words, like, the other probes basically don't have any useful role right now since they can't easily long-distance mine.
Yeah, it's actually being really annoying for him right now. He only has a single stalker hitting it, and he's doing a lot of things, so, like, he's having a hard time even targeting down. Look at that. Pops it out to throw the grenade down. It's so funny.
Does get the SCV, which means that over time, these stalkers are going to chip away enough that this bunker is going down.
And he actually just goes ahead and sells it. Runs through with the scout, and not going to find it because there is a proxied Stargate. Now, let's see if he gets some damage done. I believe he will, Tasteless.
Okay, workers starting to go down. This is actually pretty big here for Hurricane because there's not a lot of recourse right now for the Terran. Even this one Marine, if he chooses to, he can just go and kill that off immediately. But now it's going to be Maru's turn.
Oh my
4
God.
Hellions is a lot of damage. And keep in mind, that Oracle has ran out of energy, so it can't kill more SCVs back at home. Whereas as long as there's HP over here on these Hellions, damage can be dealt to these probes. And if he actually turns and hits this, just 1 or 2 more hits, and it's almost every probe.
I just don't even...
I can't believe he didn't actually branch that out more.
Why? Why did he turn that around?
Yeah, I don't know.
He had them, like, you couldn't have stacked them better for Maru. And now he's lost 20 probes in the blink of an eye. Tasteless.
Well, that was surprising. I mean, the initial fight, of course, that amount of damage can come in. There's actually not much any good Protoss player can do.
Yeah,
but
no, totally.
When he pulled them back, I'm just stunned.
Honestly, like, he was actually targeting the medevac as well instead of the Hellions. I feel like in this situation, that's probably, you want to target the Hellions as quickly as possible, but also it's better to spread the probes rather than restack them and send them back to the main.
It's better to stop them and then fork them out. And I think you are probably right about the targeting of the medevac. I think in most cases, targeting the medevac, if you know you can kill it and then kill the drop, is better. Just because, that unit can't be recycled into another drop or be reinforced with a larger army later on. But in reality, what you really need to do, the fire that really needs to be put out is workers being killed.
Yeah, and honestly, like, he was always going to get 12, 13 probe kills, but I don't think he needed 20, I think that there were definitely mistakes made by Hurricane there, unfortunately.
Yeah, spotting of the proxied Stargates just now happened. Not really a big deal. He probably already knew that was proxied since he didn't see anything in the main, or probably shouldn't have. Yeah. So now the game goes on. The worker counts are actually fairly even. How many SCVs were actually killed overall? Do we know?
I think he ended up getting like 12 total, or approximately like that. But yeah, I would say after that, when you see equal worker counts like that at this point in the game, that's definitely a Terran victory.
Yeah, because
It's
the
like,
mules.
Yeah, the mules, and you actually expect Terran to have less workers than Protoss, right? Between Chrono Boost and the speed of the Nexus, and you have to actually make the orbitals, which interrupts SCV production time, all those things. Like, basically, anytime you see equal workers, that's good for Terran.
So the Oracle is coming up. And the Stalkers are going to have a little bit of pressure they can put on here. Good catch there with the Widow Mine.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to really get anything done, though. Like,
no.
plenty of defense here. He is going blank, so maybe eventually we can get a little harassment. But by then, Maru's going to have a pretty big army. Maru is adding a couple more barracks right now. And, yeah, it feels like Maru is gearing up for a very heavy 2-base push, which I think is going to be a great choice for him this game, considering it's Blink and +1 on the way after Oracle Phoenix. That's, like, the definition of a soft Protoss army.
Oh, yeah. Very squishy Protoss army for sure. But at least in this position, you know, with the third being taken, you can leverage that, and you have the opportunity to run away and try to counterattack, especially with Blink being done. And, you know, this is a good, at least positional setup here for Protoss.
Yeah, he's kind of got him a little bit pinned here, but Maru's army's going to get pretty big. He's going to land that third CC and move out with this push, and it is going to be strong because he's going to be on 1-1 against +1. I guess we'll have charge just around the time that Maru probably gets across the map.
Wow, that was actually a very fortunate dodge as he came up there. He's going to go and get rid of the stim, and that is huge, especially in a second he can actually blink out. I guess he can now. He's going to try to micro this as best he can.
Yeah, that was a... Well,
this was probably better to just blink away immediately, but he kills that stim, which really takes the wind out of the sails of any pushes from Terran. I mean, infantry can't fight in mid-game at all without stim.
Yeah, that's for sure. So that was a great moment for Hurricane, for sure. Like, it's not as painful as it was, like, back before they buffed the stim research speed, but it's still such a strong thing, right? Because he definitely wanted to do a bit of a push at 1-1 and stim. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
But here he is. He's got to wait till that stim, like you mentioned. He can't really move across right now. He is still going to get a very strong, very scary army, but it buys Hurricane a ton of time.
Now this Adept's getting cleaned up. Not bad, actually, killing 3 SCVs. Not the biggest deal this game, but another little victory there for Hurricane.
Yeah, that Adept wasn't going to do much else, that's for sure.
So Stim is going to be done in a little bit here. Really, the whole game was balanced around Stimmed units fighting Zerg and Terran and Protoss. It's an upgrade you simply can't go without, but you know, Concussive Shells is going to finish, and I think we're going to see Terran push out now, with Stim probably finishing roughly around when the Terran gets down to the bottom part of the map.
Yeah, he's got that lined up pretty well. He's moving out.
Maru has greatly outproduced Hurricane here.
Yeah, and you would expect this right now. Now, he just needs to buy a little bit of time so Psystorm's done, and like, I think he's just going to be fine. Now, this would not even be close if he hadn't forced a cancel on Stim. But as is, throws down the Guardian Shield, throwing down a force field there, doesn't do too much, but you know, definitely Maru's getting a little bit done here, but he's about to have Storm in his face.
Yeah.
There you go.
And he's just whittling away at this. I mean, I'm a little bit worried here because it seems like the units are staggered out enough. It's going to be kind of hard for the Protoss to ever have enough anymore, especially, you know, there's being more produced behind this. There's going to be a second wave here. Is he going to get that Archon at the bottom? Ooh. You know, I think just barely Maru ends the game.
I
don't know where the reinforcements are, but
one
here they are.
wave be able to push it back. Oh, a lot more mines coming in. That makes it very painful. Yeah, you might be right. This might just end.
I think we've reached the tipping point here.
It feels like
GG.
Okay. I feel like Hurricane didn't have to die right there. I think he didn't really handle that well. Like, he threw down a Guardian Shield and 1 force field, whereas I think if you make a little line of force fields in front of your Nat so he can't invade there easily and back up towards your shield batteries at your third, it buys you a bit more time for your Storm, and then you actually have Zealots with your Storm, because once you go down to just Storm, you don't kill anything. You need Army and Storm. So I feel like there was several misplays here from Hurricane this game.
I do agree with that. I also think that that is a very Maru-like ending, right? There were back and forth moments there. I mean, we saw the stim get denied, which really curbed the progress of an attack there from Maru. You know, Hurricane doing a good job there. Hurricane had some good plays, but every little fight, overall, I think Maru won the more important ones. And ultimately, he just had more. I mean, it is probably true that Hurricane could have done a few things differently in that last fight that we had. But big picture, Maru was basically propelling that to another win there. And so now we're going to go to Light Shade for map number 2.
All right, Light Shade. Well, Maru definitely playing a bit better than Hurricane there. A sloppy, crazy game from both of them, getting very aggressive with their proxy ports. Let's see how it goes, game 2.
Yeah, let's do it. Our game's now loaded up. Hurricane versus Maru. Right now, Maru with a 1-0 lead.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world. Seize the stakes. They're living a life like dead.
All right, it's about time. Best of 5. You gotta have the double proxy racks at some point.
Yep. Yeah, we knew this was going to happen in at least one of the possibly 5 games we'd have tonight. Let's see what type of double racks this is. There's not just 2 SCVs sent out.
Yeah, just 2.
I thought I saw a third for a second.
I mean, it could be as simple as Marines. He's not getting any gas yet. We'll see if he does throw one down now that he's started the 2 racks.
If he does get the gas, could it be that Marauder pressure that can be so annoying to deal with if you just misstep at the start?
Yeah, it could be. It could, but he has 2 racks, and one is made in a location that can't get a tech lab.
I thought that probe was one expansion above
Oh,
that one.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Just finds it instantly.
So gas is being taken here. Let's see if he throws a tech lab onto this.
Well,
or is it?
I think
or is it just Reapers?
I think it's going to be Marines to start.
Marines? Okay.
And maybe he's going to go factory at home. I'm not 100% sure, though. We'll see.
There's a lot of ways to do this. It's one of the reasons why it's not just the idea of being proxy that's scary. It's the type of proxy compared to the build that is, you know, the soon to discovered. The player's going to discover that he's a defender.
Yeah.
You know, is he equipped to deal with that or not?
Well, unfortunately for Hurricane, he decided not to scout this game.
Yeah.
So that's going to be heart-wrenching for him.
Okay.
You got to cancel the CC.
The Nexus, yeah. This is
the hatchery taste.
The
You
hatchery.
got to cancel the hatch, dude. It just has to go down.
This is rough. Kind of a classic bunker rush. We used to see this against Zergs in the early days of StarCraft, even back into StarCraft 1. But especially with the way that Legacy of the Void has been built, everybody's kind of opening up like a Zerg, or at least has the option to do that, and therefore they're vulnerable to attacks like this.
Now, out comes the Stalker, so like I don't think he's going to end up dying, but let's see how much damage Maru actually puts out. Couple probes. Oh, he actually did let the Nexus finish.
So that means he has to really hold this fight here, which worries me a little bit. Because 4 Marines in here is enough to chip away at a Nexus. We're already about a 5th or a 6th of the way through the life of this Nexus, and I don't see any...
He can't save the Nexus.
Yeah, I don't see any special opportunities here for the Protoss to try to come out and save this. And honestly, losing a Nexus this early, it is extremely... it's a very damning situation.
The only thing I can think is
Did he
maybe
spot
you
that?
are... Yeah, he
Okay,
spotted that. Oh, my God. The only thing I can think is maybe you wanted him to commit into making more Marines there or something like that, but that does, like, I feel like he should have canceled it. Like, it's pretty obvious when that comes that you cannot save the Nexus.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. Like, before the attack happened, I thought, yeah, of course you have to cancel the Nexus because you're only going to have Stalkers. Then when he finished it, I thought, for just a second, okay, maybe there's something I don't know. He's going to have some other way around this, or there's some reason for having this finish, and it doesn't appear there was.
Yeah, you'd have to, like, maybe if you have a pylon down there, like, behind the Nexus, you throw up a couple shield batteries.
Oh.
Something like that could change the situation.
By the way,
well, I mean, the pylon's going to die. Like,
yeah.
what are...
So I was going to say, for those of you at home who would think, yeah, but he lets the Nexus finish, and then he won't be expecting this proxy gateway. Actually, the only thing you're worried about after killing that Nexus is a proxy something. Because everything else is so straightforward because you're so far ahead. So you just have to tick off those boxes by scouting, which he did. He saw and he punished. And this is about as bad of a start for a Protoss that you can have given the situation.
The amount that he has nothing going on is truly quite startling.
Yeah.
Like, he really doesn't have anything going on for him. Like, his proxy has already been found. His pylon killed. He's taken a bunch of damage on his stalkers. He's lost his Nexus. He went Observer first. Like, I mean, it's not that the Observer can't be useful or something. Oh, my God.
Dude, he's going to get the second stalker.
Ooh, just gets away.
Oh! I feel like we're looking at the player cams, and the only way this game could get worse is if a piano fell on Hurricane right now.
Just a crumpled human under it.
Dead.
The thing is, like, Maru can't even tell because he kills him just as bad either way.
Maru doesn't know. He just drops the main and destroys his buildings.
Like, did you know that a piano fell on your opponent? Like, halfway through that game, he's like, oh, I thought it happened at the beginning of the game. Yeah, so the Observer flies and gets shot down. He sees that there's, like, everything in the world in Maru's main. He's going speed disruptor drop, it looks like, which...
That could be surprising,
yeah, yeah, that's like, you need some way to come back. And honestly, the disruptor is one of the best comeback units in the game, right? It's... Like, you can get some lucky shots, and you have a speed prism, so, like, if you handle it just right, it's not going to die. It gives you some potential. I like that idea. But the, like, 3 ideas that came before that made this very tough on him.
So, it is true that Innovation has been known to be a little bit weak against disruptors, but not like this. We're talking about usually these back and forth fights that... did I say Innovation? I meant Maru, excuse me, a little bit weak against this, but not in a situation like this. I think if Maru handles this well, it's going to be another shutdown. There's already a Viking out here, so you know, with a Viking present, you can shoot at the Warp Prism.
Yeah, it's going to zone everything really well.
Okay, very nice. Going to get 2 tanks.
That was good. That was really good.
Now, maybe I really didn't expect that to go that well, but I mean, the way that the tanks are spaced, it was ideal for the disruptors. They basically hit on both of them. And maybe now, actually, this is a very doable situation.
Yeah. This is, suddenly he's opened this game up, and that's super cool to see. Just fantastically done with the double shade in to draw some tank fire, plus the 2 disruptor hits.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be huge. Oh, shuts down 1 disruptor. Great usage of the Raven there. And then targets this one. It is going to be picked up and saved, but the tank is down.
Yeah, that is definitely something. He still has both the disruptors and the prism.
Okay, so it's actually possible for Hurricane to win this.
Oh, absolutely now.
You know, he's repowered up.
In fact, he's got 3 Nexus stasis. He's going to win this game.
Yeah, I think that Maru really had to have those tanks better spaced to be ready for, you know, this is one of the only things that you could have to deal with. And again, it's not the most common play here for Protoss, but it's a smart move.
I can't remember seeing this in the last couple of years,
This looks
honestly.
like a Brood War PvT right now with Reavers and Dragoons harassing early on, really.
Oh, I thought you meant with the Terran being way ahead than losing.
But honestly, it does look like Dragoon Reaver harass in certain situations where you kind of get in there and pry them open. And
well, he did. Like, it was super quick, and now, like, I was so, like, Maru was way ahead, and then he just busted him. He just, like, he did a lot of damage there, man. And now suddenly Hurricane has 3 bases, and he has this, like, pretty mobile force that he can continue to kind of pressure with. I think he actually should be careful right now, like, not throw stuff away, because he's going into Colossi.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Oh, I thought it would go much better than that. Only 3 SCVs, but still.
Yeah, it costs him
worker
nothing.
kills or worker kills. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, he like Hurricane right now is getting himself to an amazing position. What can Maru really do to come back now? He doesn't have disruptors.
Well, he's going to have one medevac on the map, outbound towards the third base up here. But, yeah, when you look at what Hurricane has at home, I mean, Hurricane is probably fine, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so. He has plenty of units. Like, as long as he's not completely out of position, he's in between the two bases, so like he'll lose a couple probes here, sure, but gonna be fine. Blinks in, kills off the medevac.
And in fact, this is even worse for the Terran here. Killing 6 probes is pretty good, but when you're this down as Terran to lose a medevac and all the units inside of it, Protoss on 3 Nexuses can remake those probes extremely quickly.
Very true. Little force coming out here to get rid of the pylon for the Warpins.
This has actually been a really exciting game to watch. I mean, Maru was completely dunking on Hurricane, and then Hurricane took, I think, the only opportunity he really had, and with such precise control came in and actually denied Maru his natural and is in the lead here. But Maru is a player, if the game goes on for a long time, who's capable of coming back here, I think. But I do think Hurricane is basically setting up a position. There's a little bit of a vulnerability down here at the bottom. He can have his disruptors chuck shots into the worker line.
Yeah, and we saw in that picture-in-picture this up there, the Zealot drop into the main base, getting a little bit of harassment as well. The Speed Prism gonna make it out of there. Dude, I tell you, I am impressed because so many things went poorly for Hurricane. So many of his plans were destroyed, and then he gets into the ultimate comeback unit, the Disruptor.
Yeah.
The only thing that can come back harder than Disruptor is 2 Disruptors, right? So he's done a fantastic job. Look at the damage he's put out there. 29 probes have been killed by these Disruptors so far.
And right now, there's not a ton that Terran can do other than sit back and try to rebuild.
Yeah.
I think Hurricane's done a very effective job of jabbing at Maru in this process and taking the attacks that he can take. But I think as time passes, it's going to be harder to get in there and do much more damage to Maru. So we want to watch for Maru taking a third base and see if Hurricane can stop that or try to out-expand him, or both. And that moment's going to happen right now.
All right, Maru pushing out with these tanks, going to spread them up a little bit while he takes this third. I mean, yeah, with the tanks, with a Raven in here, I think he can hold this.
Okay, he needs to have infantry actually covering this, though. All right, losing 2 tanks like that is pretty bad for Maru here.
Yeah, he's shredding. No. Maru is like in really a tough spot here.
Yeah.
Throws the auto turrets down, and I think he's dead. We actually see in the picture-in-picture Zealots in his main base as well.
Yeah.
He's diving as hard as you could ever dive there.
Yeah, huge beating here inside the main.
That's crazy.
One of the best comebacks, honestly, we've had in a while.
One of the most sudden comebacks I've ever seen.
Yeah, it actually happened so fast. It's really jaw-dropping. I mean, it was the Adepts and the Disruptors getting the hits, and then Maru suddenly realizing how brittle his defenses really were. I think he was prepared for anything, with the exception of a Disruptor shot into the natural.
Yeah, it's funny because if he had just like a little bit different defense, right? Like maybe the tanks are spread, like maybe they're further back, maybe they're spread a bit more, maybe he has an additional depot so that the Adepts can't shade on top of that tank and draw some splash damage.
I think all of those things.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of little tiny things, and his giant lead wouldn't have been smashed like that. But here we are with Hurricane now getting ready to take a 4th base. Can Maru actually, like, how would you fight back against this? No,
you'd leave the game, and
that's what I was kind of thinking, because I'm like, I was actually surprised he's still in the game at this point because it's so, the position is so bad.
I think basically Maru was looking for an opportunity in some fight, the same way that Hurricane found one against him, where maybe he can actually gun down a Warp Prism or find isolated Colossi to kill off, something like that. It didn't happen, though. Hurricane played a really clean game. And I'll tell you what, bounced back like we have never seen. Lost the Nexus, lost the Pylon on the proxy.
Lost multiple Stalkers to a few Marines.
Did a Hail Mary play into Disruptor, hoping to find something, found exactly what he needed, and then carried the game into a lead and won. And that makes us tied up 1-1. I'm still worried for Hurricane here.
Yeah.
But Maru's showing that even when he takes an incredible lead, there is a way out.
Sure.
if you're able to figure out where, how to do that. We're going to go to map 3 now on Romanticide.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes. They're living a life like dead bodies.
Hurricane. Team NV, Maru.
So that's very cute.
I like it.
The reason why the barracks is put back there is if a probe is to scout, when you don't see the barracks close to the entrance, the instant thought in your head is that it is somewhere on the map. And we'll see how exactly he scouts here, but keep in mind there was a proxy in the last game, right?
Yeah.
So
He primed him for this.
yeah, exactly. There's a couple. This is why Maru is so good at a best of 5 or best of 7, is he can take ideas. And it's not like Maru hasn't proxied multiple games in a row either. So,
Yeah.
He's taking his entire history and putting it to his advantage.
Oh yeah, hiding both buildings behind.
Yeah, and
This
so
could freak you out.
yeah, he may whip around here and start checking. Okay, so he sees nothing. That should spot it, right?
There's a
so-
Marine in there, so he knows.
Yeah,
exactly.
he knows. All right, but I think a cool idea anyways.
Yeah.
It doesn't slow the tearing down, really. It is inconvenient having to lift the barracks up and put it into the front unless you're going to keep your production back there all game.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah, he
We'll
might.
see.
He might.
There's a few different ways I guess it could go, but they fly pretty quick. But the thing is, every now and then there's like a certain percentage of the time that a play like this will force the Protoss to get way off their build order. They'll panic and stuff, and maybe they instantly make a shield battery at the natural or add a second gate, or just
It can look like it shouldn't be a big deal, but when you realize how fast you have to be playing and reacting, especially if you think you're getting proxied, it can completely cause the other player to set up some buildings and shoot him into a trajectory that's not really ideal for pretty ordinary play here from Maru, right? Whether that be making units or tech or defense or canceling something. I mean, there's a lot. So it's a cool idea. It's funny to think of it as a tactic because it's one where you don't actually have to do anything other than make buildings, but it can make them respond in a panicked way.
Yeah.
Cool idea.
Well, it just kind of shows another level of the depth of StarCraft, right? Where you can literally scare people in this game.
Yeah.
You can trick them and scare them and make them make mistakes through that.
It's also something that only works against a good player.
Yes.
A bad player, isn't going to be thinking fast enough or, have the routing in their brain to identify a solution to a possible problem that quickly. And instead, here come 4 Hellions.
Oh, man. Oh, well, good thing he has a Phoenix here.
Yeah, picking up the weak one, though. And picking up the second Hellion. And actually, this is a pretty big win right now.
Yeah, he's dealt with this very, very well, I would say.
Yeah, I think, can he pick that up one more time? I guess
he does
not.
have the energy.
But 3 probe kills
That's actually...
is laughable.
That was really well defended by Hurricane.
Yeah.
That was night and day compared to the Hellion drop that hit his main.
Oh, for sure.
It was like the worst defense I've ever seen, and then that was as good as you can get on defense, honestly.
Well, I do wonder, too, if there's been a big confidence boost here with Hurricane. Just winning that last game.
Well, dude,
that's
when he
gotta
lost
be
his
like
Nexus
one of the
and
most.
then the Pylon,
Yeah.
he's definitely thinking that he's dead.
Yeah.
Come back like that against Maru, that just doesn't like, remember our old saying about Maru? It's like when you're like behind, you're even. When you're even, you're behind. And when you're ahead, you're even.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, no, Maru's just like, what do we call it? The 4th race or whatever. It's just like, he's different, man.
Well, I think to come back in a game like that against specifically Maru, but the way the game looked really shows how formidable Hurricane is. And I don't know. I mean, I think he'd probably be feeling pretty good, pretty confident, because he handled that attack pretty well. I don't normally like chalking up psychology alone to play, but I do think you see a game like that, and you got to feel good.
You
know?
do have to feel good, and don't worry, Tasteless, we're not going to call you on being a psychologist for saying that he feels good winning a game that we were sure he was going to lose, and we were right to be sure he was going to lose.
Yeah, but I think that morale boost, though, I think he could play well still.
Yeah.
So Phoenixes are going to come out here with the Oracle.
Colossus on the way.
But
that's
Maru's
a funny
got,
push out.
Yeah, this is an unusual set of units.
Oh, man. Actually,
2 Vikings, 2
Cyclones.
Cyclones. Why was it called them? Colossi? And then Marines.
Yeah, it's a really funny unit set. This actually really reminds me of a push that TY invented back in the Abyssal Reef era, where people were doing Phoenix openers, and then TY made like this little Viking Cyclone Marine push that was killing third bases that were taken too quickly. Now, Hurricane didn't take his third, so this push I don't think is too likely to do much.
It has no ability to sustain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no healing here. There's nothing to repair either. Does this actually work? Let's find out. I feel like this shouldn't work at all.
No, I don't think it works. I don't think it works. I think it's a move like this can be really
kind of odd targeting there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the Immortal.
I think it was more important to kill off the Marines on the ground and then kill what lands.
Okay, lifts that up. Okay, so, well, here's my take on that, right? Like, if you played slightly more greedily here, like if you have a third Nexus there, I think that this can be an amazing attack.
I think
But because he sat on 2 base that whole time and made that Immortal, the Immortal actually saved the battle for him because it was actually starting to swing to Maru.
Yeah, I think that honestly, had we had a greedy third base, Maru would have completely trashed him. But not the case at all. It did seem like a blind play, by the way. Like, I don't think he scouted anything that would have told him that was worthwhile to do.
The Hellions saw the Phoenix play, right?
But I think that what might have happened is the Hellions did nothing, and maybe a good Protoss player could take that victory and say, let's take a third base now, right?
I think that's right, yeah.
And so then Maru says, okay, so I'm going to do this kind of weird, unusual unit set to actually punish that because I'm behind, and you think you can get ahead because you think I'm going to play normally, and I'm not, and that's how in your head I am. But Hurricane was just powering.
I think you're 100% correct on that. That is exactly what I think happened there. So we're going to go ahead and take that as the gospel truth. And so Maru gets punished by Hurricane actually playing a slightly slower, slightly safer game. Doesn't take that edge that he probably could have taken, only losing 3 probes, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, damn, that's 4 Hellions gone for nothing. Okay, let's go. Instead, here he is, and he's like, right now you see Maru has a bit more army supply, but that's not that much more. He's actually relying on this mine drop to do something, because his main army doesn't beat the army that we have of Hurricane, but he might be able to do something sneaky with the mines, either carpet bomb them onto the army or just fly them in. Yeah, here it goes. It actually flies into the main base.
Okay, the 2 other mines are coming up. There is an attack ready to be sprung over here on the 3 o'clock base.
Yeah, it can't really do too much.
Whoa! Yeah, this is not going to work against that.
No. The Immortal there is really screwing up the math, I think.
Yeah, even though Protoss is running, there's no way that that's going to last. A couple of Colossi shots. And I do want to point out that supply is continuing to spike up here for Maru. This is always a feature of Maru's games, is regardless of fights, won or lost, he starts to pedal ahead here.
Yeah.
And just get bigger. So,
but it's like when you're playing this type of very technical Protoss army, it's kind of normal for them to peak up in supply above you for a little bit because you're spending so much money. You already bought Phoenixes, you're getting all sorts of upgrades, you're getting Colossi out. So as long as he sits back in a very defensive formation here with his shield batteries and just kind of micros well, I don't know that Maru's going to break him. We'll see. He does have 4 medevacs.
This is high risk with these Phoenixes out here, but I think Maru is going to go for it. He's going to...
Oh, the Phoenixes go over his army, Tasteless. That was a good pickoff, but that means the drops
that's
get
even better, though. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of infrastructure here. It's a very inconvenient angle for the Protoss to try to take a fight. Takes out the upgrade. I'm sorry, was he getting... He has Thermal Lance, right? So...
I think he was actually getting it.
Okay.
But Look, he actually runs into the natural as well here. That is a huge push in the natural.
Yeah, he's just trying to find the soft spot, and he may have hit it here. There's still a big attack over here in the main as well. Now, there are still Widow Mines actually over there. There's still fights happening down here. There's been 14 probes killed overall as the Phoenixes are chased away.
Oof.
And this is classic Maru, is just hitting enough locations, throwing enough things out there and seeing what sticks. And I mean, there's going to be more kills on these probes, 22 probes. And behind this, Maru grows. GG.
Wow, wow.
So
well done from Maru.
This is the problem with fighting specifically Maru. For all the crazy things that can happen early on, he does appear to just build and grow faster than anybody else.
Yeah, he macros up quicker than everyone, and his multitasking really great. Look, he scanned and actually saw the Phoenixes flying to the north, and then it got confirmed when they came out to kill the Raven.
Right.
But that was a time, like what were we talking about? This is the normal point where Terran starts to mass up above Protoss. You have to really lock everything down, and he was a bit too far forward with his Phoenixes. He was out of position. If those are sitting trying to block drops, this game is still going on.
Short break, guys. We'll be right back.
You walk like a queen, you rule my mind. Nothing more to feel with you, I'm done. And I don't believe in love first sight, but I can't deny this thing I found. I'm not saying that you would change my life, but what I'm saying is you make me come alive. I'm not saying that you are just my type, but what I'm saying is you make me come alive. Ooh, I'd rather be in this state of mind. Ooh, I'd rather be in this state of I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥, 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
아이시스 에코. 오늘 내 룩에 찰떡.
마시고 분리수거 끝.
많은 분들이 아이시스 에코를 따르고 있습니다.
이것도 라벨이 없네?
무라벨은 따라해도 대환영. 팔로우디 에코. 아이시스 에코.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
Quarterfinals. Hurricane, Maru, Innovation, Trap, GSL Season 1, Code S, Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, Live, LG Ultra Gear and Hot 6, 2021, GSL Season 1.
All right, we have had some crazy games actually already between Hurricane and Maru. Right now, Maru does lead 2-1, and I would say like overall his play looks very strong, very impressive as it generally does. But that one comeback game from Hurricane really great, and in fact, it felt like he did well in game 3 there. Also, like he shut down the first 4 Hellions very well. He shut down the follow-up attack by playing a bit more defensively, making an immortal before his third base. That was super good for him. And I think that Maru's play was very smart to even do that attack. I think you analyzed it correctly. Tasteless said he was going to try to kill a third after he lost the Hellions, which wasn't there. But then he just let some drops in that just dismantled him, and Maru just went to town with his multitasking.
It's the thing that we see Maru win with the most is honestly he's just mechanically superior to pretty much everybody else in the world. I mean, as many stories as there were about the fights, the tactics, the build orders, in the end it was about Maru just outproducing and then hitting in so many locations there was no way that Hurricane could keep up. We're going to go to map 4 on Oxide. Let's do this.
2021 GSL Season 1. We stood at the edge of the world. Seize the stakes. They're living a life until Hurricane. Team NV, Maru.
So looking back on that, well, actually back on all 3 games, I mean, really that Hurricane win is remarkable, but I do worry just because any game that Maru isn't stopped or like judo flipped, so to speak, in what he's trying to do early on, it does seem like Maru just gets to that too big to fail size. Where he starts dropping too many locations. A couple of them don't work, but then when they start to really connect, and the Colossi, it's not clear where they're supposed to be, or if they're even going to be that well defended. Yeah. That's what's so truly punishing about Maru.
Yeah, failed drops actually don't even impact him that much. You have to remain bulletproof against him. really takes a monstrous Protoss to be able to take him down without, you know, just kind of like cheesing him right off the bat. See if he can keep that up. Of course, it is match point for him. So close to that round of 4. Nice little eBay block there.
Yeah, this is to stop the Nexus. It's a little bit of a control build here. Protoss has to decide what to do with the excess of minerals, whether it's to bank up and ultimately expand it efficiently or to invest it somewhere else, which could be predictably countered here by the Terran.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that is like over 99% done.
Yeah.
99 point something.
What do you do? Add 1 hit point to it with
yeah,
that?
he
like
also
risked it dying?
Yeah, that was...
Listen,
that
Maru,
was so...
he needs to calm down.
It's funny because you look at it and you're like, you know, it's probably not ever worth it to do that because it's so hard to do. But then when you pull it off, it's like, yeah, I guess that makes that last for a fraction of a second longer, maybe depending on what's attacking it, which I guess if it works out, it's always better. But
no, I don't think it actually even made it longer like that.
Yeah, it just...
I find that move pointless when he just did.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Whoa, I can't believe you missed that. Wait. Okay, no, wait.
Oh, wow. He finds it on the way back. All right, they're going to go ahead and kill the SCV, but just knowing that there's a gate there is so powerful. Okay, a couple of Hellions going out and going around as well. A couple more Hellions being made at home. Does have a block on his ramp, so seems as if he's expecting something like this.
So the no.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's not a StarCraft 1 probe. Can't block that ramp with that, my friend. Okay, so immediately these come in here. Now this is bad, but it's not the end of the world. 2 Hellions.
Ooh.
Oh wow, he gets the 5 kills. Okay.
Yeah, that's
looked like
pretty sick.
Oh no.
Okay, he just canceled his tech and went into Robo instead.
All right, he's gonna go Disruptors again, try to close it out.
I would like it.
I'll figure this out. I'll figure out another way to win in Game 5. Right now, it's all about the present.
Yeah.
I think he actually is gonna go Disruptors.
You might be right.
Yeah.
Maybe he does the same thing. That was sick, though, the amount of damage you got with those 2 Hellions. That was really big.
It's like Game 5 is a problem for future Hurricane, and fuck that guy. This is all about this game right now.
Yeah. Maybe that's the whole trick for Hurricane, is he needs to get behind.
Can he get the SCV? Doesn't get the SCV in time to deny the bunker from finishing. Now, these 2 Hellions, and these 3 Widow Mines are going to see the Robotech.
Ooh.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't want these Hellions running up the ramp.
Yep.
Hey, where's that? Oh, it's there. Okay, I couldn't find the medevac on our minimap for a second.
Oh, no.
Oh. Hey. Okay, can he get away?
He's counter pressure here. I'm kind of like holding my breath watching this right now.
Our observer can barely keep up with this. This is the Protoss can end up getting stuck back here.
Yeah, and we see it looks like he's starting to clear out the mine drop at home. 7 probes dying, 3 SCVs thus far. Yeah, the counter pressure is pretty decent here, to be honest. Oh, that was awesome. That was a sick move. Shading on top of the mine and giving that splash damage to the SCVs.
So now it's just these 3 Stalkers back here. I think it's going to be 2 as 1 is picked off from the bunker.
How much damage are these 2 going to do to each other?
I don't know. This is a real slugfest, man. He is going to eventually chase these Stalkers away. That attack's going to be running out of gas. And I don't think there's any more Widow Mines underground or in medevacs on the southern half of the map.
Yeah, I think you're right. But there is a Banshee out now, so we got to go kill more probes. That's for sure.
Medevac coming down now towards the natural. Really forcing the Protoss to, stay back and defend. Keep in mind, Blink isn't done here, so you don't have that mobility threat that you normally have with Stalkers.
But he is maybe going into Disruptor Tech tasteless.
I
There's
think
the Prism.
so, but we're in a very different game post that drop and post the Protoss push behind the minerals. I mean, that was everything has changed now. It's 35 workers to 32. Protoss in a minor lead, but mules exist, so the math gets fuzzier there. Banshees now have come in here. This is 2 players on 2 bases continuing to hurl various harass techniques focused on workers. And another little victory here for Maru as he kills off 5 more probes.
Yeah, I like it for Maru. I like what he's doing, but the speed prism disruptors coming in. I'm very excited to see if Hurricane can make some magic with this again. Because, you know, it is the ultimate comeback unit. You have that speed prism, so you can just kind of keep them alive and appear in positions that are hard for your opponent to deal with. Maru's spread right here looks much better than it did in that one game he lost to this.
Okay, the gateways just going to come up now. First disruptor's out. And I don't think this game can look like the one that Hurricane won. Terran's too developed.
Too developed, you say? But what if there are 2 disruptors?
Still too developed.
What if there is a prism with speed?
Still too developed. Terran can't lose to this, I don't think.
All right, all right.
Terran's going to push out, though. I was talking about if he tries to break the entrance here. The push could actually be a bit different.
Okay.
But I still think Terran should have enough.
All right,
he's going
picks off a little bit. Oh, he nailed a tank with that as well, so a very low tank. He's doing just slight harassment there with a single adept, which is kind of funny.
Now, it's important to note Protoss doesn't have a 3rd base. So, I mean, this usually means you can actually kind of fight here. Good avoidance of the disruptor shot.
You see that prism fly over and then realize, like, oh, wait, no, I can't really. I can't drop it right here. That's not going to work.
The problem is that there's not enough medevacs for Terran to actually leave without losing units here. But he kills off that first disruptor.
Yeah, but it did get a hit, so a couple Marines die. A tank goes into the red. It seems like he forces Maru back for now.
We need the... Oh,
Maru didn't expect 3 Stalkers to be there. He thought his attack would be enough, respected enough.
Okay. He's going to keep pushing here. Now, I think what he probably wants to do is wait for the disruptor to come out, then disable the warp prism.
Yeah, you could
just
disable
chase that down. And
you can disable the disruptor as well if you can't kill it in time, and that'll turn off the...
Yeah, that's another way to do it.
The Nova.
So the warp prism is just staying out of range. Maru pretty patient here. Gets clipped there on the corner of his army. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, that's a big pickoff right there. The Raven goes down. All right, stim and spread here from Maru as he sieges up, and Hurricane just pulls back. I think Hurricane's doing a masterful job here of slowing this down.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Now, below this army is an expansion that's about to finish up. So really it's important that Terran breaks this, and if you're the Protoss, you have to stop this immediately here. Maru's still committed on just 2 bases. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, I mean, I guess he did
Was that a Colossus in there?
That was a Colossus.
Okay. I guess you could put a Colossus literally on top of that, so it's a lot of splash damage there, but...
I guess.
Weird.
Gets 1 Marine there. He's going to lose this Nexus. I think he just has to give it up. 5 tanks, 6 tanks. That's too many tanks.
Yeah, it's a...
No tanks.
It's a situation where you can basically...
I said no tanks like no thanks, Tasteless.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like,
you didn't laugh, so I knew you didn't understand.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was that funny, to be honest with you, but... Like,
it's okay if you didn't understand, Tasteless. You don't have to pretend it wasn't funny.
My sense of humor is not sophisticated enough to pick that up. GG, Maru wins. With that many tanks, you could just leapfrog him forward.
No, it was a very, very strong push. I liked the idea that Hurricane was coming back with again. But, yeah, you're right. Maru was quite developed there. And does end up moving on to the round of 4.
Impressive stuff from Maru. I mean, Hurricane, I think, did an okay job, but Maru knows exactly what kind of comp he wants. He knows how to push. The one game he lost was probably one of the greatest games Hurricane's ever played.
That was insane.
To be honest, it was my favorite game of the entire series. But
for sure.
I think in reality, it's very clear as the dust settles here and we wrap this best-of-5 up, Maru clearly is the player who should advance, and he does. And that means you only have 1 more spot here in the round of 4. After this interview and a commercial break, we'll be going to that.
And Maru of Team MV takes the match 3-1. And he moves on to the round of 4. Congratulations. Thank you. In Romanticide, you showed phenomenal multitasking skills. And in offside, you showed great rushing skills. So how do you feel about the victory?
솔직히 좀 못한 것 같아가지고.
Well, today I think I played pretty bad. So I'm slightly worried, but I'm glad I advanced. So in what aspects were you failing at?
실수가 너무 많아가지고.
I made some trivial mistakes in the match. So I thought I would be in a pinch, but I'm glad I advanced.
2세트 한 번 지신 것 때문에 이런 생각을 하시는 것 같아요.
I guess you're having those thoughts because you lost the second game. But in the last set, you didn't get obliterated by the disruptors.
좀 놀라신 것 같았는데 좀 어떤
So it felt like you were quite surprised in the second game.
제가 마당이 너무 느리길래 토스 마당이 그래서
Well,
멀티를 찾고 있었는데
because the Protoss was very slow at expanding, I'm looking for his outer buildings. And then when I found it out, I was really surprised.
조성주 선수의 좀 흥미로운 모습 볼 수가 있었는데요. 그래도 그 세트를 제외하면
But apart from the second game, you showed phenomenal performance in the other three games.
이제 4강과
And now you're in the round of 4. Your G5L title seems very close to you. And in the other side of the bracket, Rogue pulled a reverse sweep, and he made it to round of 4 as well. So what are your opinions on the other side of the bracket?
저는 병렬이 형이 무난하게 이길 것 같아요.
Well, it feels like Rogue is going to have an easy win. And he's going to move on to the finals to play against me.
조중혁 선수는 위협적인 상대로 느끼지 않으시나 보네요.
So are you saying that Dream's not a strong opponent? I mean, we had this talk when we were drinking outside. And Rogue and Dream both said they were confident, but in the end, Rogue was the winner.
선수가 승리를 했다.
끝장전 하자고 얘기가 나와가지고 실제로 스타트로 끝장전을 했는데.
Rogue and Dream actually had like the had actually fearsome match, and it was Rogue who came out on top.
상대는 이신영 선수 그리고 조성호
So Maru, your next opponent will be either Innovation or Trap, which will be decided later today. And they have a pretty neck and neck record. So who do you think is gonna win?
다 힘들 것 같아가지고.
Well, whoever comes up to the round of 4, it's gonna be really hard for me.
저 같은 팀원이었던 성호 형이 이겼습니다.
But I'm still gonna root for Trap, who was in the same team as me.
Okay. 5회 우승까지 한 걸음 한 걸음.
And you're just one step away from achieving your G5L title. So anything you want to say before you go? Well, my performance hasn't been satisfactory today. In the round of 4, I'm gonna try to prepare really hard and try to deliver a better performance. Once again, congratulations, Maru. Thank you.
네, 이렇게 2연속 4강 진출에 성공한 조성호 선수.
All right, well, Maru advances, not surprisingly, in an impressive fashion. Very pro-gamer moment to say that he was not impressed with his performance today.
That's very Maru. Even on his best games, like, I don't know, I was playing 40%.
Yeah, I give myself a D at best.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
All right.
So he moves on to the round of 4.
That would be insane if he wins his 5th.
He could do it, man.
Yeah, we look at who's left.
We've had that
win.
special trophy for a long time, so we might actually be able to give it out this time. 10-minute break, guys. We'll be right back.